Old fort! How dare you hunt in our territory? These spicy rocks belong to us!
Wrong. After tonight, this will be our hunting ground.
This is my territory and you can't take it! No, it's ours! No, can't you see? We claim this land and the sun too! No, you don't! Hello guys and welcome to my artist intro. This is unapologetically me. And I've been drawing cats for well over 10 years now. And you may be wondering how I got into this situation. Let's try this again. Hello guys and welcome to the ultimate cringe guide where I talk about roughly the past 12-ish years of my art career and what it's led up to. But first, I feel a slight introduction is needed. I go by Atlas as of recent, but a lot of people may know me as Fix. I'm a self-taught artist who works primarily in digital mediums. I graduated in May of 2023 with a BFA in animation and visual effects. I specialize in character creation and development, and my works typically range from simple drawings all the way up to animatics, PMVs, animations, and comics. Most of my art is centered around bringing life to a character I create, whether it's through world building, highlighting friendships and bonds, or simply placing them into scenes. I have a passion for holding on to the same energy of art making that I did when I was a kid, and I choose to draw what makes me happy versus the standard media's definition of an artist. I take joy in creating new little guys for pretty much every interest I have, but more recently I've been focusing quite a lot on cats, like a lot. But before we get into my more recent projects, let's go back to the roots of where I started as an artist. Ever since I can remember, the concept of original characters has had me in a chokehold. At the ripe age of 11, I just gained some sort of artist self-awareness and realized I could actually give myself more of a show or book series by making my own characters. Ever since then, it's been a slippery slope leading to years and years of borderline unhealthy hyperfixations. Out of this stemmed years and years of artwork though. I began with drawing on paper doing traditional art as most younger artists do. As soon as my pencil hit paper, I was pumping out insane amount of arts and stories, starting with little blob-shaped Pokemon that would smooch one another and progressing from there. Not too long after, I picked up my first ever Battle Cats book and went to town. It was then that I found out that art was my passion in life, and silly little cats gave me just an ounce of serotonin. At the exact same time, I learned some drawing techniques through watching speed paints and realized, whoa, these artists are drawing using a computer? I can draw on my computer? And I went off. My sloppy little traditional sketches slowly transitioned into the painful concept of using a computer mouse and MS Paint. Here's a little clip of my first ever speed paint recorded on my old reliable Windows XP computer. Also through the lovely art side of YouTube from the early 2000s, I was transcended into another state of being when I learned that people not only draw on their computers, but also animate on their computers. So I figured you guys would enjoy a clip of my first ever animation attempt, recovered on a long-lost SD card from 2011. The quality is that of a deep-fried chicken nugget, so bear with me on this one.
Okay, so I've been making this little animation. It's like half old and half not. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what I've got so far. And yeah, let's just hope this turns out good in the end.
At this point, I had learned about the art program GIMP and transitioned from MS Paint into using GIMP. Throughout these formative years of my childhood and having unrestricted internet access, I created the most insane works of art. And there are so many old things I could show you guys from my childhood collection of art. I think I could rant for hours and hours if left unattended with a laptop and a $3 convenience store slushie. Anyway, these childhood art pieces are super nostalgic. They are unique and absolutely fascinating to look back on. In a sense, this is who I was at the time, and I will never draw like this again. Every bad character, every new art style, every anatomy mistake was a new milestone for my younger self. What I look back on as an adult and cringe about was actually the foundation to who I am as an artist and what I do today. With that in mind, I'd like to talk about my current ongoing project, my Let's Review series. The only one who cared enough to be her friend was Nightblaze.
StarClan, I hope you enjoy my presents.
She shakily meowed as she took a step forward.
Make sure my only friend Nightblaze is happy.
She whispered as she took another step closer to the ledge.
I hope my suffering will end.
She pushes and scooped Bloodflame up in midair. I love you, he whispered, clenching his teeth to keep from crying. That sentence made Bloodflame's blood run cold. This is a series where I dig up all of the information I could possibly find on an old character and talk about it. These are usually between 7 to 12 minutes long and focus on a use of humor as a way to lovingly poke fun at my old art and characters. I cover their backstories, gallery of original artwork, any stories that they may have been a part of. Probably the most iconic part and my absolute favorite part of the series is revisiting and blindly reading through their old fanfictions. And yes, they are just as painful as you think they are. Some of them are honestly a written goldmine of cringe, ranging from neon-colored cats with edgy backstories, firebending animals, science experiment wolves, dogs with superpowers, and self-insert Pokemon characters. And let me tell you, these are, as I stated just a bit ago, unapologetically who I was. Growing up, mostly in elementary and middle school, I faced a lot of relentless bullying both online and in real life for my interests. They became who I was at the time, and I constantly was put down for the artwork that I did. From being nitpicked online about black and red cats aren't real, all the way to students and teachers taking my art and throwing it away for not being deemed as real art. These actions stung my confidence. As much as I make fun of them, these old characters were me. And if I had taken the advice of my peers and stopped drawing, I don't think I'd be the same person that I am now. Through all the negatives, however, were the positives. For one, I followed many wonderful artists who were inspirations to my younger self. I watched these artists inspire me and other younger artists through their community. I also received support from other artists online, friends, and a select few classmates, and those are who kept me going. Their support and encouragement drowned out the nitpickers and disbelievers. I decided that I was going to grow up to be myself. I wanted to be the voice of encouragement. So, the point of my Let's Review series is to bring artists of all ages together through community. My passion is holding on to the creative freedom of being a child and making art, and never letting the spirit of it die. The ending of all the Let's Review videos show me remaking my old characters, showing that they are still a part of me and they are still a personal reflection to my growth as an artist. And now I am humbly tasked with introducing a new generation of younger artists into the world of character creation and indulging in what you love to draw. So please, please, please keep making art and character stories no matter what anyone says. And remember that you don't need fancy art programs or materials to make art. Just do you and draw what makes you happy. And maybe one day I'll move on from revisiting my childhood characters and be able to look back on my current ones and feel a sense of growth and satisfaction.